Welcome once again to deck analysis and testing. This time we're looking at TGs. TGs is a bad synchro deck, that's no surprise, but just like any other bad deck in Duel Links, why give them all of the new support in the TCG when you can just give them a really broken skill that solves everything the deck needs? Let's have a look at the new cards as well as the new skill. Let's first start off with the TG Trident Launcher. This is our new boss monster. It's a link free. It summons one monster from hand, grave, and deck. And it's a really good card that also makes your TG Synchro monsters not be able to target by your opponent's card effects, which is pretty nice to protect your really big level 12 Synchro monster. And the second new card we got is a TG Limiter Removal. This is a double search spell, just like on a Metapera. It discards a card to search two of its archetype monsters from your deck to your hand. And this card is fine at 1 even in the expensive version because your skill just adds this card to your hand for free, which is really nice. Let's have a look at the old stuff that we have. Go over it quickly. Screw Serpent is a reborn for a low-level TG. It itself is a level 4 tuner, and also you can banish this card from the graveyard to modulate your monster's level by 1. You can increase or decrease it as you wish. Next is TG Striker. It's a free level 2. That's also a tuner. Gear Zombie that we rarely use, but it is also a free tuner that's level 1. We have one copy of Warwolf. It's available in the pickup box, just like a Screw Serpent. That's why we are playing one of each. This is a free summon of a level 3 non-tuner. And finally, we have 2 copies of Booster Raptor, which is also a free summon that is level 1 non-tuner. So having a combination of these free summons basically allow you to play through your opponent's stuff when you go second without even using your normal summon, because you will want to save your normal summon for Screw Serpent after you already exhausted your opponent's interruptions. And finally, for the last 2 monsters, we have a copy of Jet Falcon and a copy of Catapult Dragon. These are just extra monsters that get you into combo, because having a level 3 or lower TG that isn't Gear Zombie basically gets you into your combo that ends on a link 3 plus the Halberd Cannon, which is really good because it not only stops your opponent from summoning anything for one time, it also this monster also has target protection because of your link 3. So yeah, if you open with Jet Falcon, you can grab Catapult Dragon from your link 3 and vice versa. Basically, if you open with any one of these, you get access to your combo anyway. For the spell lineup, we're playing one copy of TG Limiter Removal as a target for our skill to search, and also just generic stuff to get rid of our opponent's stuff going second. We have 3 copies of Spiritual Entanglement and 3 copies of Spiritualism to get rid of both monsters and back row respectively. And we also have an in-archetype MST called TG X1HL. This requires you to have a TG on field, but it also destroys a spell trapper without targeting, which is pretty nice. And also it does half your monster's current attack and defense, which kind of sucks if you only end on your turn 1 board with your Link and Synchro, but it does pop back row, which is still nice in this deck in general. For the extra deck, other than the new Link 3 that I touched upon, we also are playing a copy of TG Halberd Cannon. This is also from the pickup box you can get, and it is a level 12 requiring 3 Synchro monsters, which is really hard to summon, but not so much when we have such a broken skill in our disposal. This card can once per turn negate any summon. It has to be an inherent summon, so in case you aren't familiar, if you summon with an effect that does not get negated by a Halberd Cannon, it must be summoned by rulings or summoned by its own conditions. For example, Synchro Summoning, XC Summoning, Link Summoning, Special Summon like Alternative White Dragon, which says it can be Special Summoned by doing something. Those can be negated by Halberd Cannon, as well as normal summons, of course, but effects that summon like White Stone of Ancients, those summoned by an effect. You specifically see the little flash from the screen when you activate an effect, and those cannot be negated. So Fusion Summoning also cannot be negated because you use Poly as an effect to fusion summon your monster. But contact fusion, those can be negated because those are a special summon using an inherent special summon. So yeah, just rulings. And also it floats into a lower level TG Synchro Monster when it's destroyed, which is quite nice as a follow-up. And then the rest of the deck are just good Synchro Monsters. Because we are playing a free-to-play version, we are playing some unusual options like Parshav and Samurai Destroyer and Sai Frame Lord Zeta. But in the expensive version, or if you have better Synchro Monsters, you should probably play those instead, which we will talk about when we go over the expensive version. And also one thing I want to mention is that you can't actually use the effect of Zeta during your opponent's turn, because the skill specifically stops you from using non-TG effects during your opponent's turn if they are higher than a specific level. So you can only use Zeta during your turn, which is still good enough because you can attack with Zeta, and then after you attack already, you can use the quick effect and then get rid of another opponent's monster, so just one card gets rid of two monsters at once. But yeah, that is just something that you want to keep in mind. You cannot use this card as disruption like you usually do in other decks. Some better cards that we can use is Black Rose Dragon. You could get this from the structure deck. And if this card is Synchro Summon, you just get to blow up the entire field. And you will make this card really often, because if you have a copy of Striker plus Warwolf, you will be able to make this card without using your normal summon, which forces out any disruption, or just plain out clears your opponent's entire board. And then we also have a copy of Trishula, which is available from a bundle. You can also make this card pretty easily using the same two cards, Warwolf and Striker. And this is a non-target banish for a card in hand, field, and graveyard at the same time, which is pretty nice. So here we have the expensive version. We're playing a lot more staples. We're playing free Forbidden Lands to protect against back row. We're playing free Book of Moon to act as both disruption and also to stop your opponent's monster quick effects. We're playing Droplet because even if we pitch monsters with Droplet, we can still combo pretty easily just by normal summoning Screw Serpent and then reviving whatever you send to the graveyard. And also we have two copies of Compulse as the two remaining limited free cards in our deck that we could play. In the extra deck, it's basically the same, except we're just playing better Synchro Monsters. We're playing Quarren Gandrax because we can make this card pretty easily. We could play Battle Wasp because this is really good for OTKing. Because if you use a Synchro Monster to make this card, you can attack twice with this card, which is OTK on its own. We're also playing a copy of a Brionac, which is a good level 6 to remove your opponent's cards with. You can also play Coral Dragon in this spot. I like Brionac more just because it bounces without destroying. And Black Rose Moonlight Dragon is going to be our level 7 pick, which we can easily make to bounce our opponent's special summoned monsters back to their hand. Okay, before we look at the replays, let's have a look at the skill before I forget. This is the new skill that we get from the new box, and also it has a restriction that you cannot special summon or normal summon monsters other than TGs except from the extra deck, which a lot of the new skills have this kind of restriction. And also it has two effects. So one effect is to reveal one level 3 or lower TG monster in your hand and then add a TG limited removal from your deck to your hand. So it just grabs the spell for free, which is insane. And also the second effect allows you to just put a reciprocal dragonfly to your field. Just like that. No cost required. Just get it for free. You don't even need to reveal anything. You don't need to have anything on field. Just get this level 2 for free. Which is such an improvement from the old Delta Axial skill, where you need to have like Synchros on your field and you have to return another monster from your hand to the deck. This just gives you for free, so it's plain power creep. And also, it gives you a whole bunch of other TG Synchro monsters into your extra deck, so you will basically begin your game with an extra deck with 14 monsters, which is kind of insane. And also, it's pretty good for free-to-play decks like these, so you don't have to go all the way to the old boxes to get the synchro monsters, you can just use your skill and just get them all for free, which is pretty nice. Okay, so let's have a look at the replays. We are going second. This deck actually has a lot of plays going second, which is one of the reasons why this deck is good. And since we played a lot of staples that are free-to-play staples in this free-to-play version that specifically are good going second, we basically don't have a lot of problem even if we do end up losing a coin flip. And as you can see, we do open with 2 of our spells, which is pretty nice. And then any one of these are actually just full combo. Our opponent ends on a pretty weak board. I don't know why. I don't know how these people get to King of Games, but whatever, we should at least bounce the back row back, and even if they did end on the Shinui Link, we can still banish it using our spell. And then now, with no disruptions left for our opponent, we can just combo off pretty easily. So the typical combo going second is to just a special summon Striker plus Werewolf, and then make Black Rose Dragon after using the skill to grab another level 2. And then after we clear our opponent's entire board, we are free to normal summon Screw Serpent, and then special summon the level 1, make the level 5 Star Guardian, grab back the Screw Serpent, special summon Screw Serpent, use its effect to revive a level 1, and then we link them all off to make Trident Launcher. Trident Launcher summon 3 monsters from hand, deck, and graveyard, and then we're just free to do whatever we want. Now we can just flex a bit, we can make our monster level 3, make a TG Power Gladiator, make the level 10 by Axel Synchroing, and then we just go in and attack full lethal. Okay, in our second game, we are going first. Let's see what we can do when we go first with this deck. So basically, if you open with any level 3 or lower TG monster, it's basically full combo. So even though we did draw the spell, which is not ideal because the skill adds it for free, so if we draw it, we basically lose out on 1 card, but it's still fine, at least we still have combo. So it's not like we bricked or anything, it's just like we have 1 less card in our hand. Anyway, we're gonna Screw Serpent, and then special summon to level 1, make Star Guardian, grab back a Screw Serpent, special summon the Screw Serpent effect, summon back Booster Raptor, and then now we have 3 monsters. We can make Trident Launcher effect, summon the third monster in our hand, plus Werewolf, plus the Synchro. And then we can use the 2 monsters we have to make a level 5 Synchro, and then we make a Blade Blaster using the 2 Synchros, and then we can use our skill just to get to level 2 for absolutely free, no cost needed, and we just flip it face up, and then we send to level 10, grab back the 2 materials, and then we Synchro them all off to make Halberd Cannon in a defense position. And we're going to remember to put this in the link point of our link so it doesn't get targeted, and then we can just set the in archetype MST and just end turn. Our friend is playing Constellos, and this deck has a really big weakness to specifically a card that destroys the normal summon. So we will do just that, and they are going to scoop immediately. Okay, this is the third game, and as you will be able to see, we are playing the expensive version. And our opponent is playing an actual good deck, which is a Red Eye Zombie. I definitely think this deck should be at least tier 2, it's really strong. But we do open with 2 Compulses, so we could probably play through what our opponent has, and we also have full combo just by having a level 3 or lower TG in our hand. We'll just grab Screw Serpent and the Booster Raptor, and then we just keep doing the combo over and over again. And the combo is exactly the same as the one in the last game, which is Screw Serpent, a Raptor, Star Guardian, grab back Screw Serpent, and then summon Raptor, make a link free, summon 3 guys, including a Synchro and 2 monsters that add up to level 5. And then we just make Power Gladiator, and then use it to make Blade Blaster, and then we just use skill, grab the level 2, and then just summon back the materials. And then we just Synchro into a Halberd Cannon in a zone that the link points to. And then we just set 2 and pass. Normally, in the free-to-play version, you probably won't be able to play through what Red Eye Zombies could do going second, but because we have 2 Compulses, we are pretty good. We'll just negate the normal summon. He will be using Mizuki to bring back the normal summon, we will bounce back the Unizombie. He will activate Zombie Reborn, and I wait until he summons the Red Eye Zombie until I use my second Compulse, and he will do just that. he will attack, will compulse, and that will be the end of his turn with no monsters left on his field. So let's activate TG removal from the graveyard to grab back the Screw Serpent for follow-up. We'll normal Screw Serpent, summon back a level 1 so we can make a Wonder Magician, which can clear the remaining card that he has. It's a copy of Compulse, doesn't matter because he can't target my Halberd anyway. And we'll just walk in for lethal.